prison bia ye beto abana ma the chairman na command wo ho. We are not afraid of NDC today nor tomorrow, I'm telling you, because
and yes say what the chairman to go prison ombeto abana ma chairman Wontumi e won sewam na ye chairman Wontumi chairman of NPP national there e be chairman Wontumi aba. That is the message they are sending out to Asanteman. And the NPP before doesn't even believe in the rule of law. Judiciary now, Makazi be go to court. No. They don't even believe in it. Now, only myself, Chairman Wontumi no dance one for 20 years. Or say what other 2 cases. But the bear 3 or 4, why they find the whole court is here quite very true. As we beat my man another 60 years. No, when my dear Chairman Wontumi, I dare Chairman Wontumi and then grow for you. And him say, Poor Yandomo, they use a one you. I say, Chairman Wontumi, I shall almost say. Among copy nomination forms and NPP epoch contest ni bi obi ono dance wo no emfama no. Hey chairman ke we da kene Japan kai no
Jimmy MPP for mama Jimmy what Jimmy papa will stay in opposition forever. MPP for kwasiafo pa ma Jimmy MPP for Jimmy he will be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. They are idiots.
They are idiots unpacking the Dohene Japan. Let's reason like this. Rikus, when I'm here the basic for Chairman Wontumi the prison. And now you can say or appeal or engine appeal document crime. What I say, so be free 20 good years. Oh, why being Munufie yet oh turn up assassin now to about mobile no or demand a bonnet at the prison. And no force so buying my buying you know. Nipa we sebe din pa na wo ka kire no wiase a san kurufo ya ma gbe so mbete ase because afenyo market mo na e ka kire the so called seasoned lawyers na bi mo afenyo market mo Godfrey Dame mo Gary ni makomo e na e ka kire mo say this is the style mo ya bi chairman Wontumi pi it is e koto ba ma chairman Wontumi as the national chairman na chairman Wontumi pi that means say NDC for the suru chairman Wontumi kan kware chairman Wontumi me national chairman o ya Asante regional chairman kwa no NDC akwaji seat bi ho. Enti se nko obi ono pese de Chairman Wontumi kotum John Bodu mu na o ne ko contest no NPP for ne pese de Chairman Wontumi kotum na nye NDC ni se NDC ni de nyi na se national chairman kura enti se nipa 3 se 4 na o ne ko contest no kan ko se me no ko contest na me fi se metimi akle we fi Roma be kamen ko amenye we let's be honest to say Rikus was say many Rikus ko contest and Rikus ni me ko contest na Rikus ni me se obetimi ya de be ma ya chimi akotun se 20 years na aka ono ko a onye obeye because 100,000 acres of land I was in so afani nyano bi o test man bi anim say asema o kan de oboa we akura o we da de mpa bi na Chairman Wontumi ka no by ne Ghana so e wona akura ntimi we da de mpa bi because no ye tete story book na eyi wo kantata ene e kan drama na akura ntimi we da de mpa by na ye kase pa de akura ntimi we da de mpa akura bi ne nsuo bi ne wi ase ho a ebetimi afa Chairman Wontumi nko afu 100,000 acres of land wakoje 30 million se rekodua bro wo first can you be catch them me wo say wo de nzu afa wakwaje samara boy asase okwe prospecting na wo di too good wo dwiri mu wi na de ma odum so nso nko praprase no no nso mfa nko di okube na kube na ye wo de asase na ye wo de. Sometimes when you start to reason with this kind of people, I don't even understand why they don't understand very, very simple and very, very basic thing. Because I did say so what being to say my quite an example. Obi or bodam could not say any such Chairman Wontumi be na yeah and the concern say at the corona so no and ye NDC for the starting you to a NPP minister and this Chairman Wontumi na kasa come police for police for year investigation. The Attorney General and John Mahama by now the only thing they did was to pick the docket and they go in court. Judge you know high court one and another they never high court to her. What I say? Aha, and the anything about Chairman Wontumi and then I got to and John Mahama and NDC for because be and Chairman Wontumi. So they switch Chairman Wontumi and say always na din because be and come kwase asembiem. That is the only thing I Ghana for Africa kakara because say no Jimmy too much. To Jimmy na man for 20 warning. Oh Jimmy na man for 20 warning. That is the only thing in Ghana for who say my papa be aba. I'ma say Ghana the nyansa be abam. That is what we've been thinking. Na prison or not that they want to find out. And before they know Mobo say now Chairman Wontumi the prison want to find Chairman Wontumi. That is how we need to do all these kind of things. And I bring you what comment section be ampacho betimi ediaba. Maybe your phone lines no sort to along the point. Now what chira. Na odiaba. Na ya TSC NPP for so die chale. Ye boy man say NPP for. All right, that was your for Mama Yensen call back. NPP for Omonti Asemaseno. Education Minister was giving NPP for free public lecture, telling them how reasonable when NDC was in opposition, they are very vibrant. To the sense that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president of Ghana, Manfo Susu say, oye seasoned lawyer no, also the bill be by Emma NDC for playing juju and tricks, a bossem to guye. Na Haruna Idrisu can say NPP media for my twist as Haruna Idrisu, the god of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is thinking the assassin Haruna Idrisu can no, o man tiase and answer motiase as well assassin no man tie ni ma me kan sa. Anani tie nso wan tiase. But I remember they was say we need to sit down and decode as some Haruna Idrisu can, and then come and tell them what I say. See, as some Haruna Idrisu, ekaye very, very, very carefully.
Yes. When President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo sought to amend the constitution to make DCs elective, so those of you who want to have a good laugh this morning, I share this with you. I was a minority leader, a very responsible minority leader. So we chose to punish Nana Dankwa on matter of principle of constitutional law and law. Your minister is here. Coincidentally, he was the one I used together with Muntaka. So if you recall, so I don't want a repeat of this under the NDC government. So Nana Dankwa wrote to the Speaker of Parliament for amendment to the constitution, having gone through Council of State, for us to elect DCs. In principle, we all agree that it should be elective. So those of you who have your constitution, go to Article 2413 or 2431, Article 2431, I'm sure, 2431. So Nana Dankwa at the time as president then wrote to the Speaker of Parliament for us to amend Article 2431, which was to remove appointment of DCs to make it elective. But you know Nana Dankwa, brilliant constitutional lawyer. So in my culture, if you fall such a huge constitutional lawyer, you also become a hero. So I then told the minority that let's frustrate him constitutionally and legally. So you hear the story today. So I then told him and his whip that no NDC MP should comment on the constitutional amendment proposed by government for good reason. So they asked me why. So I am saying, let me recognize you. You are doing so well. So take note. You don't drive our government on the same path when you're advising the Minister for Local Government. So if you read Article 2431, it then provided for the election of the DCA. So President Nanado rightfully and tactfully and legally said, remove appointment and make it elective.
Well, politics is a game, right? And so you wouldn't understand how politics is being conducted. One would say, "Dria is where our umbrellas, our branches be." If you don't want to be part of Diana, now pro, now what of them? But you can't become part of Diana. Abra, you are singing a different song. Until tie honorable year, Abra Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo deba parliament to say he wanted MMDCs to be elected but not appointed. No. They had to constitutionally and tactically, that was the word, frustrate him to the sense that he couldn't succeed because they were then in opposition. And so that was the mandate of opposition party. Or you see the word say constitutionally and then legally and then tactfully. As a soldier ni kwa akono, udi nyansa ene kwawe ni abano. Me, I have been saying 100%, say even President John Dramani Mahama, Eddie Abase MMDCs, Yento Musaba, me, I totally disagree with it. It is my personal viewpoint because I don't see why Ghana be about to. You're two president swaba, you're two a member of parliament swaba, you're two assemblyman swaba, you're two unit committee swaba, MMDC swaba, and go to Maba. Until every day be that's what they be a year campaign. The little resources of the country, yes, and me and was a president John Dramani Mahama, I totally disagree with it. I don't see the point in that. Yeah, point on because MMDCs, they are no way. And even I have said, say, we don't even need MMDCs. Right? May I have said it, we don't need them because we have regional ministers. Or if we need MMDCs there, then we don't need regional ministers. What they are a regional minister? Because Okukurubia district BSC or district chief executive of her, or better report on a local government minister direct. So what is the job of the regional minister? You know, we need to limit this kind of jobs and then eliminate some of this kind of jobs. So it's two-way. Either we take regional ministers to oversee all the entire region, or we in that vein we don't need MMDCs, or we take MMDCs then eliminate the job of the regional minister because they don't do anything. But original minister they know a job for the boys, they don't even do anything, right? And NPP for no more parliament, and I have also said, say, oh, here Juma Moya idea, okay, here tablet about copy iPad bit my Juma NPP for because they are not doing anything. So me, I totally disagree with the Ubi of Bekasi to MMDC Swaba. And men can't say president, I don't have any but me my dream no, it's needless. You will see mind seeker. It is a heroin do Bekasi. They used some tactics to kick against another and frustrated him to the point say he couldn't succeed. That is the point. The NPP for so asim we hey na he and NDC for na there or mankasa come monumasem and another Adanko Akufo had the ideas. Another idea no. Mr. O idea na say went to execute ka utim any idea. We are say yakobani nyane politics eh nyana. The one thing na ye right? We a Ghana politician idea wo pese we ye say Ghana na pese we develop no. That is the only thing we know how to do. And the developing Ghana no suppose also by Accra Kumasi road. Say we be able to make Accra Kumasi road. And this Obana do ano kwaka no wantimi anya useless. Na na do den waku for so by National Cathedral no. Captain Smart and Cosment. And Kofa born for Israel. At the end of the day, no wantimi anya it is useless. That is how we go and attack him. It is the NDC for the frustrating them wantimi anya. That means he didn't have the clear vision. Because the only destination okwa obe kwa say hu baby awoko. When you have clear destination, that is how we begin to mean distracted. Right? And the NPP for the Munsuya politics here, and we Ghana from serious no. Monko Parliament, NPP members of Parliament, or then omoye. Obi en wade omoto omoye. Ko constituency NPP ni o, we en wade kro ye. NPP ni ntimi nkasa e wo Ghana mo bi en ho se sebe. Asema we kan dey nya sese no kan. Obi en ntimi nkanya sese ya, even of Frempong, was a week of him called Doche. And here, what the tactics and a clear and another dog of Kufodo. Emma will buy cotton if and then Nakasa could be entino. Mr. NPP for what will know Busia Obon say, as my head do can sign a politics. When you're ready to obey politics, I don't come near. See, please, Wontumi said to warn you to stop changing the prayer. It may carry some spiritual consequences or you. Which one is destroying Yehovah? Wontumi pray another day. Wontumi mpa we there. I just another dan ko kufa so. Na say me send another so no bompa ye bi o. So no bobi sa. Another so sa no aye. Charlie. Crazy agenda wa zeg ma dia odiaba no. Rikus, you are right. You have said it all. Master politics there say one year ready say obey I don't go near. This is frustrating kakra bi na say we ye beat you. Ye defeat you. Maybe a phone line is not, but I want us to do something here. Now, me tourism minister, I wasn't impressed with it. And then on that same program, no, you say beside tourism minister some question be. If I chose question beside tourism minister, no, the answer tourism minister to buy.
Hello, my name is Belinda Anand Kwanta, and I'm with Wezo TV. Now, Madam Minister, international arrivals increased by 1.4% in 2025. But tourism receipts fell from $4.82 billion to $4.34 billion. Why did visitors spending fall, and what is your target for tourism received in 2026? Okay, so the Black Star Experience's own vision is to inject $5 billion into Ghana's economy by 2027. We are now more than a year into the program. How much of that target has actually been achieved, and how are you measuring it? Thank you.
Why did it fall? Exchange rate. The second question, yes, it was exchange rate really. So it's not a loss really. Black Star was supposed to. Okay, so I need you to go and read what the Black Star Experience is set out to do. And as I indicated in the report, it is not an event. And I've also, in this room, told you that we need a way in which we measure the contributions of the sector to GDP. And that's why we're working with the Statistical Service. And that's why I gave you a briefing on the 2030 UNESCO, right. So until we have those, it's difficult to measure. But I believe that if you look at, in total, the efforts that we're making, it shouldn't be difficult to come to the conclusion that we're on the right track. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Am I committed to doing it on my last penny? I bet you on that.
Well, if that, Madam Minister, answer now the man. I wasn't impressed with the answer now the man. And it's like, I just say no one nima some kura woka, and I say, what share that? You know me, I don't like those kind of politics now. When we give you the mandate to operate, you politics, it depoliticizes, you know. This is what the minister was being asked. The lady was comparing 2024 and 2025 figures, right? International tourism arrivals in 2024 was around 1.288 million. In 2024, sorry. And then in 2025, 1.36 million, meaning a rise by about 1.4%. I've decided to do this kind of calculations for you. I mean, right? And the data about 2024, and the data about 2025, a rise, international tourism arrivals, a rise by 1.4%. But tourism receipts in 2024, about 4.82 billion. The lady was quoting dollars, US dollars. But 2025, and the minister was a course, tourism sikano reduce by 4.34 billion US dollars. In calculation, my calculation, it's about 10% decline. Right? It declined about 10%. And then when you compute, the average, because I took the data from tourism ministry, and then someone lead me beside and I made the and then on average, a tourist was spending around $3,700 in 2024, and then 3,319 in 2025, which compute is about 11.3% decline. How can the minister tell me that this is due to the currency? And I mean, a man tells my minister, we question this is the answer she gave.
Hello, my name is Belinda Annan-Kwanta, and I'm with Weezer TV. Now, Madam Minister, international arrivals increased by 1.4% in 2025, but tourism receipts fell from $4.82 billion US dollars to $4.34 billion US dollars. Why did visitors spending fall, and what is your target for tourism received in 2026? Okay, so the Black Star Experience's own vision is to inject $5 billion US dollars into Ghana's economy by 2027. We are now more than a year into the program. How much of that target has actually been achieved, and how are you measuring it? Thank you.
Why did it fall? Exchange rate. The second question. Yes.
How can are they quoted in dollar now have something to do with exchange rate, Madam Minister? You need to come and tell us. I mean, or key performance indicators. DNH say was the Sikano recorded in CD, and I will record it dollar now, and my exchange rate man declining and answer there. So if that is the argument the minister is saying here, then 2024 what the DN exchange rate and calculated 2024 there no, and how the DN exchange rate and calculated 2025 there no. Then sit down and tell us using the same exchange rate figure no, the hen be cost kese. If I wow him, what my point is. Now this is what they are doing there. Let me first start here. Me what a degree in tourism, and I say a masters in tourism. Until I deal with a minister here, I know whatever she's talking about. I said I go school, but I me a whole degree, a master's degree in tourism, and I understand what she's doing here, and she's getting a lot of things wrong. right? Minister at the latter part or can't which made a bit of sense. When him the mistake Ghana is doing. Ghana, you recorded in 2025. This is what we were doing. Obi Oba business store. My kind the entire document. Business tourism accounted for about 31%. Visitors on Babe visited Omobusia for no more for 23%. And Omoba holiday and leisure and so on is around 20%. Right? And and then on average, each tourist was spending about 13 nights in Ghana. And one calculation na my actual. But this is where Ghana is getting it wrong. Yeah. Indicators, we pick it from. To say, let's assume, my first flight from maybe Helsinki. Now my baby transit to London. And then I come back to Accra to visit my family. And then I return from Accra back to Helsinki. Yeah, calculate this money now. But plane before say wusika. The flight that I took, when you make this kind of calculations, it is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And Madam Minister, when you be Santana, you people need to sit down and your school compare how other countries are doing it. I'll take my time someday and then come and tell you how UK is doing it, how Finland is doing it, and how maybe Australia and those kind of large tourism destinations, they are calculating how they make money from tourism. But I'm going to figure out a question. That is the problem the minister is facing here. Ghana for school or other countries, consult them and then they will come and help you. What I say, it is the play back. Don't forget, say business tourists. What about watch 13 days, 3 days or something? Obi obese na busu for no o ti free play ma waka critical the play we are fa ka kota male we are bese ko no dey na okwa on nipa na wo dey calculate bi a wetin enti per projection we mu team na mabo won e be ku santana mo bo mu team e na mo yes adwuma we so adwuma ye wa ha no NDC ni ye wrong e beka NPP ni ye wrong e beka e Ghana ni develop me nji obi esika. I take my time, do my own research, I learn a lot. As I'm about to cancel, as I'm a minister, you can Cecilia that when she was a minister, I make a bitch no. Maybe people can go back and that and the crime name of Ghana make already so. When Cecilia that mo you should touch me the call Japan $100 million so many better touch my water project. When I asked about the project, no, I'm catch them say, I'm going to can buy now. I'm going to feasibility studies. Me banta omo bi so omo say onye feasibility studies we dey na wa hunu sika obi hia dey project na wakwa kwaje kala kora why na enye feasibility studies onim project now sika obi hia dey project but ma kwaje project no bosse abe capture parliament for sika na buy wo hemfa also da kwa feasibility studies oboa on that particular show no me present document from Japan I say Ghana buying the feasibility studies and the kwaje is $100 million no as we speak to this sika no madi. And the answer is when tourism minister is making mistakes, I will take her time to come and tell her, say, Madam Minister, you are making mistake. Only a big Santander, only tourism authority, you people need to go back to the classroom. More present facts, more present facts. More tumfutu nguyeni, yentiasie. Because I didn't know yenesu yenim. So this is my case. Me didn't William Munufie. I'm on platform A Munufie Politics. I have done a lot of calculations about Nema. They are getting it totally wrong. That is why you be minister and a question I went to Yankano. But at the latter part of the minister's presentation, Ghana Statistical Services is lazy together with the Ministry of Tourism. Now, if you don't want the exact data of Obi Awaba Ghana Oba as a tourist, and then tourism no yam fan serious. Now no me catch them say, so catch them say Kumasi Zoo. I'm on for the Buchiba Kumasi Zoo. See who Obi no na adwin with our free America and free Europe about Kumasi Zoo. Do they look at the 10 key performing tourism sites in Ghana, Madam Minister, what failing? We need to be honest with all ourselves. I can take my time and then come and then educate them on how to boost tourism. Because I can't maybe get a degree in tourism or master's in tourism. I say master's in international relations. That is why sometimes I talk about politics. I say get a master's in law until I have a lot of education. If you're poking when we bring a certificate, but we don't talk. Nti mama yenko yedim na ne phone line said be adwuma no air +358 4653 72649. Amenye ni si na mefa number no ento ha. Nti me pa chew so person join here. You can join live on the show. Na afide me pa chew ba dey ye ni atem won. Ha dey kan say me say neti. What I say? Ye ni obi atem but say madam minister Manina atem wan pa chew me di atem. Manina atem but I just presented a fact and told her say Nema na calculate no onye calculation ni because ye ntena se ma NDC nko position ya betwe wo data e de kubisa question. What I say? Any area boko there?
That is very boko.
That's it. Nseme ya boss the hen officer can be.
Person we talk about young market, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Nyetini. Governor mo yes I did, you know. I don't blame them. It's not about politics.
Yes.
It's about IQ and EQ level of Ghana. Yan IQ na EQ. On a problem man. Okay, netine. Baby omo kasa market no. Wano minimum kasa. That be down ufru ansa wo kolobu.
Okay.
One in your market. One year your open space by say be sure say na your park bia na noveness no. One no best share and some more about Accra territory no.
Okay.
In time be sure so mo fro ho konkoma market no.
Okay.
Netin I sank your doctors na mo Ghana no. Okay, sir, ade no kra no baby omo ton ade no. I sank omo kra no be educate and say dust no. Ebe to me as say in panel lungs. In pain for no. I did want some more. I'm saying for the emotional. It's emotional no. I saw be sharing panase. Nothing maybe as I said dust no. Into much is a lungs problem or system no so anyway we no. Nipa be charge as simple. Any day be brave. It's much say painful no. When you dey be so many front and back. And this from painful no. I saw doctor so build this screen be on mountain screen or no much as a dust in the coin per more. It belongs to the problem basic. On one case, I did bet you paper on the fraba. More simple. It's a master say a dinner again. Say ya trim watch it. Into your dream say a yadepa.
Yes.
Sana me who. Say ya I dinner is a kanya hunam. Nti yɛmfa sɛ area hɔ koraa no obi wu koraa na yɛ lungs problem a yɛnim ade a akɔ so no yɛnim sɛ bia dust na ɛkɔ so saa adeɛ no nti mpanyinfoɔ no a ɛsɛ wɔn ba out na ka bia wɔn yi doctors na ka wɔn bɛkyerɛ sɛ biribi a wɔn te no ebia mfuturo no ɛkɔ mu a ɛyɛ sɛ na wɔn de videos na ade kyerɛ wɔn ade kyerɛ pɛpɛ a wɔn anɔ mbɛpere sɛ adwuma no yes, I only time my sister you wouldn't come on. It was our territory.
Yes.
In Tabia, you met me. All right. That's it.
That's it. So, oh yeah, dear. If I show bit me join the show on +358 4653 72649. Meaning idea or thereby is one of the best. I think say a bino bit me ama send our can doctors and also not to keep this particular adjumano because yare be more people bagana. It seems say we are not giving the citizenry, no, the level of education as you hear they counter all those kind of yare, no. What I say? They say Obagana, but we have cancer and a kidney and she said same baby will be also to mention on baby yare any fever. It's the same meaning I think say we need to do this kind of education. Now for the infamwa young say because we educate you near also educate you home. Say Obaka we a doctor, but by yere na here door fiance no. Unima de idea by yere no. And I could find Guka man, I will be doing Takorade. Be able to do a crown out to Odi, as she previous said, yet Yaman on Enso, near you go to papa, who be there being a service also yare. And you know, young face animal ya, Charlie, a hard game. We go so bro, These are the same Ghanaians who are telling us in the US never to come into their parliament, and from the best of my knowledge, they are failing. Rikuze, I think they all support it to say dual citizenship in parliament. I may support it that one day because I'm against it. Once you're a Ghanaian, you're a Ghanaian. It doesn't matter. But I think the majority of these kind of people, so no, just say, sabi you push your mo, no matter who you might or more because Ghana, and I'd say the only thing a Nippon partners or by near Bano, that is the only thing a Nippon and a Niger home. Or maybe be hello, Minia.
Oh, Massa, me chobi abi.
All right.
Ba efie poko se hwan.
Vim lady.
Sa national na kana so. So opese on pese mu se efie poko no. Oji oman ni di. Nyese we dwane akwatena abroch ne. Ebia ahokyere na amo akwatena ho. Almost green pastures hwan nti o de akwatena ho na. Se o se assembly 2022. 2020 ma case in America. Master and say on country Speaker of Parliament say address for nipa na omode ne be rem no. Omo investigation. Honestly another case. Honestly another crime. Ombo timiaka. Because on quite a high crime. Because only a high crime pa nyesan case wo mind. Into on cancer asam no so. Me pay, but on Samsung can address for issue. Mama yanya say ya the one. Yem paying for no be come chire no omo be na I say omo hin sika into no cross omo ka chire oman no. Omo ba so omo ka. If people go to asama wo ka sisi ai me se metie ne kasa na me hu say e bia kokoli bi akɔhye ne nsase because sisi if you so as nigga say ono nka o ma asem bia because sikasa me mba nche bi ono kokoli bi akɔhye ne nsase nche bi o ka bi
Waje kakra se ba bi
nche masra ne say address for issue no high crime because omo de taxes e wo kromo omo de taxes wo kromo pa America na otena no tax na omo je no omo hu nya omo de ye but he live na omo ko pass na omo ko fo bi be hyem na omo pass no ye hu ade omo de scan ye intimacy so on kasa ne bi na asam no omo hu ha omo ka asam no na mama onye no say